My name is Kumi Shirakawa. I work at a restaurant. I make mostly Western dishes, and as busy as it is, I've never thought that I didn't enjoy what I do. I'd always loved to cook, and I've been really peculiar about what pots and pans I used.
Wow, it looks so good!
Eat up! Seeing dishes on TV or magazines that look good makes me want to cook it myself. Really thick pancakes or fish bowls with lots of sushi. Of course, I buy all the stuff I need within my own allotted amount of money. Wow, you really don't see pork belly cuts with skin on it. Maybe I'll use this today. Cooking is only part of the fun. Looking for the ingredients is great too. Buying things that I found at work or new tools that seem to be useful to try it out. Sometimes I even go by the store on dates just to check things out. My husband Yuki is the complete opposite of me and had zero interest in cooking. He ate things like...
I didn't want to have a bunch of pots and pans either. I basically only had long chopsticks for cooking. Even my knife was from the dollar store.
It doesn't matter as long as you can cook using it. I'm just picky because it's my hobby. I'm sure that's how most men are. That's why I love seeing him eat my food like it's the best thing to ever grace his little taste buds. But my mother-in-law really didn't like that. We lived near her, so she would sometimes come over and nag about my cooking. You waste so much money buying this crap. You always say it's your hobby or whatever, but it's not going to be good just because you use rare things. She would always look at my new utensils and cookingware before commenting on my food.
Don't be like that, Mom. It's not a waste.
It's actually pretty interesting when you use it, and convenient too. Whatever. Whipped much. My husband would often cover for me, but that would just make her even angrier than before. You only need the bare minimum for good cooking. You think you're some kind of chef or something? You want to brag? I can make delicious things with just a pressure cooker. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do stuff. It's not like we lived together, so I just left it alone. Then something happened. My mother-in-law showed up for no apparent reason. It was around lunch, so Yuki said he would make fried rice. Wow, Yuki is going to cook? How exciting! Thank you, hun. My husband stood in the kitchen in confidence. He seemed to have started to have an interest in cooking. It started with the cast iron frying pan. He wasn't too sure about the different types of frying pan. That's why he recently learned about my 6-year-old tried and tested cast iron frying pan.
Wow. It's different from the regular ones, right?
It's definitely not just a regular Teflon pan. You can't use soap when you wash it either. He was so excited to be able to use it after he learned that I had been using it over 6 years ago. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just slightly larger than most of the common frying pans. It's extra annoying to have to deal with cast iron because you can't wash it with soap. There was a time I couldn't get a burned-on piece of food and ended up washing it with some baking soda. It actually returned to its original state. I had to reuse it to bring it back again. It's pretty tough using a cast iron pan. It's just day-to-day use, so once you get used to it, it's no big deal.
Hey, can I cook with this?
Sure, but it's difficult.
I'll use it very carefully, since I know it's important to you.
I taught him how to use it, and he followed my directions down to a T. He realized that the flavor was completely different when he made it with a cast iron pan.
I wanted to cook using a cast iron pan after seeing some videos on YouTube use one.
He didn't care at all about food or cooking, but now, I was so happy to see him changing. Almost every weekend, he would cook fried rice. He would change the flavor just a little bit to keep things fresh. No matter the reason why he started getting interested, I was glad that he was interested at all. Things returned to normal, and we were waiting for Yuki to finish cooking. About half an hour later, we could start smelling the incredible scent of fried rice. The fried rice was done perfectly and full of flavors.
Here you are!
Wow, you finished that quickly. Thanks. Thank you. It's so good. My mother-in-law was overjoyed. I was hoping she'd just go home after this. Right around the time we finished eating. Oh, the phone is ringing. The phone rang, so I stepped away to answer it.
What are you doing, Mom?
My husband was boiling water for the tea, and it was already too late. What's going on? Yuki yelled. I finished my call-up and ran back to the kitchen when I heard his yelling. I wondered if someone was injured, but... The frying pan! You washed it? There she was, washing my cast iron pan with dish soap. 6 years of my cooking, down the drain in an instant. But it was dirty. I figured I'd clean for you since you cooked for me. It was so dirty.
Dirty? The dish soap was put away too. We almost never wash using our hands.
We normally just put the dishes in the dishwasher and let it go that way. We had never put the dish soap in the sink for that very reason. I'm sure she went through my stuff and washed it because she went digging through my stuff when we moved here to look for the soap. It's a cast iron pan, so when you wash it with soap, it kind of ruins the pan. So I put the soap away to make sure my husband doesn't wash it on accident. I see. We even talked about this very topic. She saw me using the soap right next to her. What is that? It's gross. It's a cast iron pan. Using it makes the oil seep in and brings out the flavor. Gross. You don't wash it? Washing it makes all the oil fall off, but I make sure to clean it without washing off the oils. I explained to her a long time ago. She knows what would happen if you washed the pan with soap. She didn't anyway. She must have been surprised that my husband was mad at her. It's just a pan.
You can't use that anymore! She was taking such great care of it! I even made that fried rice using this! Just a pan? Get out of the house! I worked hard to become the stir-fry master!
Stir-fry master? I didn't realize that he wanted to do that. Yuki, I'm sorry. Hang on. Hey!
Let's go to my dad's house.
She was chased out of the house, but my husband wasn't done. Neither was I. Yeah. Before his mom made it back, we got in our car and headed to his parents' house. We went straight to the kitchen.
What are you guys doing? Sorry, Dad.
We made her clean for us, so we're here to return the favor. My husband started cleaning the Teflon-treated pots and pans using a hard bristle sponge. I'm home. What are you doing? My mother-in-law, who was walking home, was surprised we were here. She figured out what my husband was doing before panicking. Wait, stop, please! We're done with all of it.
Yeah.
No, what is this? The kitchen was full of pots and pans with scratches all over them. I also took the handle off the pressure cooker that she loved to brag about all the time. Without this, it's just a regular pot. I'm gonna take this home as a little gift. You always come over and take her toilet paper, you know? It should be fine, right? Wait, hang on. If I don't have that, I can't use a pressure cooker. You know it was difficult for me to use a toilet after you stole my toilet paper. Now we're even. Yeah, I know it's not the same thing, but I couldn't let it go anymore. We ignored her begging and pleas and headed to the exit. I felt pretty good about everything, but my husband was still not done. Hey, Yuki, wait! Don't be so mad! I'll buy you another pan, okay? Please don't be mad at Mom! He was honestly over it all. We were about to leave, but he glared back at her.
You know, I just want to tell you to stop mocking my wife.
Huh?
You realize that I was able to find something that I like because she introduced me to a hobby of hers, right?
She must have thought that her son would forgive her. She was just frozen in place.
I thank Kumi from the bottom of my heart. That's why I can't forgive you for what you've done to her important piece of equipment. Don't ever come over to our house again!
But he completely shot her down. You know, I don't think we're going to see each other, so I'll leave this here for you. I felt a little bad, so I left the handle to the pressure cooker. It was something she really treasured, so I knew what it felt like to lose that. She stopped coming over after that. Yuki told his dad about what happened, and he apparently also chewed her out, telling her to mind her own business. Yuki had finally calmed down and was excited to rebuild our pan. So I decided to let him take care of it from now on. I'm so glad that both of us are in the kitchen now. I wanted to make something good for him to eat.
Thanks for watching! Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Bye!